Let us solve this numerical by using MATLAB platform. In this numerical, the transfer function has numerator polynomial and denominator polynomial. So let us understand how to write this polynomial as a vector in the MATLAB command window. So here I am not using the M file, but by using the command window we will just try to get the solution of this numerical, rather all numericals. So let us define the denominator as well as the numerator polynomials. Now to define numerator polynomials, we got a first order polynomial here with a coefficient of s 0.5 and the constant s. So num, I am using the variable num. You can use any other variable to define a numerator vector for a polynomial. So I will use a num. So coefficient of s is 0.5 space 2, that gives us a numerator vector. For a denominator I will use then the coefficient of denominator polynomial, s square has a coefficient 1, s is 0.5 and constant is 2. So we got denominator polynomial vector. Now we have to obtain a transfer function. So for that I will use a variable sys, any variable you can define. The command that is being used in a MATLAB to get the transfer function from a numerator and denominator polynomial vectors is tf. tf gives us a transfer function by knowing the numerator vector and denominator vector. So please use the same variable we have defined here, num and then. So then enter, it gives us the transfer function. You can compare this transfer function and this transfer function, both these transfer function are same. Now in this numerical they are asking us to determine the zeros. To get the zeros of this transfer function, we are using command 0 of system, that gives us the 0. The answer is -4. So since it's a first order polynomial, so it has only one root, so it has 1 0, that is -4. Let us compare this value here. We got s as a -4, this is the 0 of transfer function. So we have verified zeros in a MATLAB. Now next is poles of a transfer function. Now to determine a poles, we will write a command pole of system, that variable is sys. So we got two poles. So let us compare whether we are having the same poles after calculations. Yes, s1 minus 0.25 plus 1.392j. Now here the notations little bit, they are using I, we are using j, but this is imaginary number. Okay, the second root minus 0.25 minus 1.392j. So this is also verified. Next we have to locate zeros and poles on S plane. So zeros pole map. So we are using the command here in the MATLAB to locate zeros and poles on S plane. We are having pz map. So pole zero map for system sys. If I enter, it will take little bit time to show the plot. So here it is, we got a plot. I'll just try to manage the position. Okay, now this is pole 0 map. A vertical axis is the imaginary axis, horizontal axis is real axis. But we are not able to see the poles and the 0. What I'll do, just I'll change the range of axis. So I'll just change the limit here, -6 to +6, and here -4 to +4. Say close. Now this is imaginary axis, this is real axis. Now you can see that these are the poles. This is first pole, this is second pole. So let us check the values of poles. These are the poles of system transfer function sys. The first pole is -0.25 plus 1.39j. Here itself you will get the damping factor 0.177. Percentage of overshoot, though we are not calculating, but we will understand the numerical in the next examples where we are calculating the percentage of overshoot, as well as the frequency, it is a 1.41 radian per second. So these are some values, but we have to focus on two poles, the first pole and this is second pole. You can check this, these values are same that of what we have calculated. So this is first pole, this is second pole. Now see the position poles, and also you can check the position of 0. Here you can find also it is represented by O, and here it is 0 O. What is S plane we have plotted by using MATLAB is similar what we have discussed in earlier numerical. So poles and zero map is also verified. Next is damping factor or a damping ratio. Okay. Now from the S-plane we can also determine the damping factor, damping coefficient. Otherwise we will use a command. Suppose I want to determine damping factor as well as a natural frequency, then so omega n comma zeta is equal to damp, command that we are using here, damp, and of what system you want to get the parameters is cis. So here you can find natural frequency 1.41, this is pole 1 and this is pole 2 natural frequency, and damping factor 0.17 and second zeta for second pole 0.1768. Now cross verify our value. The natural frequency what we are having is a 1.414, and here also you can see that the natural frequencies are verified here. You can verify this natural frequency by using MATLAB, and here damping factor 0.177, here also you can check 0.1768, approximately both are same. Next is step response. Now from here we will come to know that the response based on zeta is a transient response or underdamped response. So let us check that. Now to check the step response we are using command step of system. So again it will take little bit time to get the plot. So let us check whether we are having a plot or not. Yes, we got a plot. So you can check that the response of a system or step input like this way. So say both are same. So this is all about example number 3 by using MATLAB. Now let us take the next numerical, example number 4, wherein we are having a transfer function 344 over s square plus 25s plus 344. Now in this numerical we have to determine the specification of performance curve in time domain, just like in percentage of overshoot, peak time, rise time, settling time. So we'll cross verify all these values by using a MATLAB. Before that we have to define a transfer function for a given system. So to define a transfer function in the MATLAB, we are going to define numerator vector num. Now here it is having only constant values, so we will write 344. Then for denominator polynomial, I will use den. So coefficient of polynomial s square it's a 1, s 25, and constant is 344. So this is what we have defined the numerator and denominator. Now let us have cis as a system variable, and by using a tf transfer function command we will get the transfer function between numerator and denominator. So we will get the transfer function. You can cross check this transfer function and this transfer function is same. Now by having a transfer function we will determine a damping factor, as well as one more parameter is required, that is natural frequency. Okay, to get the percentage of overshoot, peak time, rise time, settling time, we require two important parameters. First is the damping factor and the second is the natural frequency. So that is what we discuss in this numerical. So we'll get both these values by using MATLAB. So first is the natural frequency and second is zeta value is equal to, we'll use that command damp cis. You'll get a natural frequency for root number 1, root number 2, because it is a quadratic equation, it has a 2 roots. Since it is not asked in this numericals, we are not going to determine the poles or zeros of this transfer function. So we'll just focus on the required parameters. So natural frequency is 18.5472 radian per second, and damping factor or damping ratio it is 0.674. Let us check these values whether we have these two values correct or not. So here we got natural frequency 18.55, yes, 18.547 radian per second, and damping factor zeta 0.674. So we got the same values. Next here we will come to know that by observing the zeta value, the response of the system is a transient response, so it is underdamped response or transient response for step input. Next is the percentage of overshoot. So the first of all we will get the response of a system for step input. For that step system, so we will get the step response of a system. Let us check whether we are having this step response. Yes, we got a step response. Though the step response is not exactly similar what we have seen here, we have plotted this without having any software or any mathematical tool, but anyhow we have represented underdamped response or the transient response. Now here this is also transient response which is given for the transfer function for step input, though it does not produces any further oscillation, but it shows a peak overshoot and some oscillation. Here you can see that little bit oscillations, 1 or 2 oscillations, and settle down to final value. Now the first thing is what we have to determine percentage of overshoot. So to get the percentage of overshoot in the MATLAB, I'll just right click on the plot and go to the characteristics. So let us say that peak response. So if there is overshoot, then and then only you will get the peak response as an option. Click on blue dot, you will get peak amplitude 1.06. So this is what the peak amplitude from the x-axis. This is total amplitude, and that is what we are in our formula. If we are having Cmax, no, the Cmax value is, this is what, a total amplitude Cmax, and the final value is 1. So if I know the Cmax, that is 1.06, and the final value 1 over the final value into 100, this is one way to determine the percentage of overshoot. And by knowing a zeta value also, we can calculate a percentage of overshoot. So this is what, by knowing the zeta value we can determine percentage of overshoot. And second formula, by knowing the Cmax, the peak amplitude is the Cmax from x-axis, and C final is the final value where the system is going to settle down. In this case it is 1 and C final is 1. So by knowing these values, you will get the same percentage of overshoot. Now here, by using the MATLAB, we got a percentage of overshoot 5.69, and what we have calculated approximately same 5.699. okay, so percentage of overshoot is the same approximately. And next is peak time, the time at which the overshoot, first maximum overshoot take place. Here what we are having 0.228 seconds. So after calculation, what we are having peak time 0.229 seconds. So this value is also verified. Next is the rise time. As per the definition, rise time, here what we are calculating, time required to rise from 10% to 90%. So what we are having approximately 0.168 second approximately. Okay, so if you are calculating the same value by using another formula,
pi over 2 omega d,
we'll get almost same value that of MATLAB. So to get the, okay, I'll just disable overshoot here so that we'll get the next parameter, that is rise time. So to get the rise time characteristic, here you will get the rise time. So I'll disable this peak. So only you will find the rise time, a time required to rise from 10% to 90%. So this is the rise time what we are having 0.11 second. So approximately this is equal to 1. The overshoot taken, if it is a moderate, then we can apply
pi over 2 omega d.
This gives us the approximate rise time. Okay, in that case you can use that formula also. Now we have verified the rise time. Next is settling time. So I'll disable first rise time, then we'll go for a settling time 2%. So I'll just give a demonstration for 2%, and I will ask you just do have this exercise for 5% as well. For that I'll give the step, or rather I will show you how to get for 5%. So characteristics settling time. So by default this settling time is for 2%. How do you come to know that? If I go to the property and option, you will get show the settling time within 2%. So what are the settling time here we are having is for 2%, and rise time 10% to 90%. Okay, and the standard deviation what we are having the unity function here. So if you want to check the settling time for 5%, just change this value 2% to 5%, that's all. Okay, so whatever we are having here for 2% tolerance band, let us check the settling time, which is 0.324 second, and here what we are having 0.3199 seconds. So it's almost same for 2%. So 5% you just do have an exercise and check whether you are having same settling time in MATLAB. And the last one, you have to plot this graph with all these values. So in a MATLAB we are going to do the same values. So we'll get a rise time. This is the rise time. Okay, this gives us settling time. This gives a settling time. This gives percentage of overshoot, peak time, and here you can see that I'll just expand this so that you'll get this value. This is what rise time. This is how we have represented all these values. Okay, for this numerical example number 6, we have derived a transfer function of a second order system so that the system will show a 5% overshoot and it will settle down to its final value in a 2 seconds for 2% criteria. If this is true, then the response of this transfer function given by this equation should have 5% overshoot and will show the settling for 2% criteria in 2 seconds. Let us check. Now for that we have to define this transfer function in a MATLAB. So let us take numerator num1, it is 8.41, enter. So this is what the vector we have defined for numerator, then 1 1, 3.99, 8.41. Then we will take sys1, transfer function of num1 comma den 1. Okay, something is wrong here. We have to take sys1 is equal to transfer function of num1 comma, okay, here you can check here, instead of comma it is dot, then 1, enter. Now we are having transfer function here. So for this transfer function we'll check step response sys1. Okay, this is the step response, and let us check percentage of overshoot. The percentage of overshoot, it is okay, approximately 5.09. so in this numerical the percentage of overshoot is 5%, so it is approximately same. The settling time, will get settling time, so settling time it is 2.07, and here what we are having 2 seconds for 2% criteria. So the transfer function what we have derived is correct. That gives us 5% overshoot and 2 second settling time. Now I'm expecting for a remaining numerical you have to use a MATLAB and just try to cross verify your answers and be used to with a MATLAB as a simulation tool. This is the basic what we have discussed by the time. Thank you.